Good afternoon, AGS crew, and welcome to the first video of the year. I'll be posting videos every week throughout the season, so get used to this face. And I thought I'd start us off with a quick one walking through everything you need to know about the draft. So before we get into it, I have a couple of quick reminders for you. Number one, the entry fee is due in a couple of weeks, so make sure to get that in if you haven't already. I prefer Venmo, but if you need to work something else out, just let me know. Number two, get on Discord. A lot of us are already there, and it's going to be the main way that we talk throughout the season. You're going to miss out on a lot of fun stuff if you are planning on just using email, so I highly recommend getting on Discord. And number three, there's a couple of people who haven't signed up on Sleeper yet. We are going to be drafting on the Sleeper platform, so make sure you get this done well ahead of the draft so there aren't any issues. All right, on to the draft party details. This year's draft is going to be at my house in Litchfield, New Hampshire. The address is on the screen there for you. I know it's going to be around dinner time, so I'll have a bunch of pizzas delivered for us, but please do bring your own drinks, and if you want to eat something that isn't pizza, bring that too. The draft is going to start right at 6 o'clock, so please be here early. That'll give everybody a chance to meet each other, grab some food, and get yourself set up on the Wi-Fi with a laptop charger and where you're going to sit. I recommend getting here around 5, and that's when I'm going to have the pizza here for, so please get here early. Now, auction drafts do take a while, especially with 23 people on each team, but the goal is to finish around 10 or 10:30, and if we do end at a decent time, everybody's welcome to hang out afterward. I have a pool table in the basement, and I'll get a bonfire started out back, so we'll have fun after the draft. Okay, so how will the auction style draft work? Well, everyone's going to have a $500 budget. All bids are in whole dollars. The minimum starting bid when you nominate a player is $1, but you can pick as much as you'd like. And every team has to draft all 23 players on their roster during the draft. So that comes into play in later rounds. You have to make sure you save at least $1 per player on your whole roster. So just something to keep in mind when you're coming up with your draft strategy. Now this next point is very important. We're going to be drafting on Sleeper's online platform, even though most of us will be in person. And so that means you have to bring your own laptop or cell phone in order to draft. So make sure you bring that. If you're in person, we'll have the draft board projected on the TV so you can really focus on your own device, on your team and who you're drafting. If you're online, let me know ahead of time and I'll set up a Zoom link so that way we can still have you interact and you'll be up on the screen with the draft board. And I'll have a camera going, a mic, and so you can see and hear what's going on in the room as well. But please, if you're going to be here in person, please bring your laptop or phone, and don't forget that. Lastly, the draft clock settings. So in the first couple of rounds, we're going to have 90 seconds to nominate a player, and then the bidding phase will be 30 seconds, and if there are any last second bids within the last 8 seconds of that bidding phase, the clock resets to 8 seconds. So there's still plenty of time if there's a last second bid to get your bid in there as well. And that's really going to just be for the first couple of rounds. We'll adjust the clock settings as we go to speed things up, but we'll play that by ear, what everyone's comfortable with in the moment. Lastly, I want to leave you guys with some draft tips. I know that we're all pros here and you may not need them, but I want to make sure we all at least have this baseline going into our research for the draft. So the first one, do a mock draft or do several mock drafts, especially if you're new to Sleeper or new to auction drafts in general. Sleeper's platform is very different on a cell phone versus a laptop, so you'll want to test out which one you like better and make sure you bring that device with you. And then if you're new to auction drafts in general, there's a lot more strategy that goes into it than a snake draft, so make sure you get comfortable with that. So there's nomination strategy, bidding strategy, and how do you manage your budget throughout a draft when things don't go exactly as you expect, like if you overspend for Mac Jones, your favorite player, for example. The second is reread the league rules. So our scoring and our roster setup are substantially different from other leagues. Other leagues also typically do a $200 budget, and we've done a $500 budget for the draft. And then this is a dynasty league, so most of us are going to be drafting with 3, 4, 5 years in mind, not just this 1 year that's coming up, although that's up to you how you draft. But all that means is the cheat sheets that you're going to find online really aren't going to help you as much as they would in other leagues. And that's exactly the point of all this. We changed up all these settings to make it more of a challenge. So we're all going to be in the same boat with not having the cheat sheets to rely on, which will be a little bit extra fun. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. And I am really looking forward to the season. I will see you all at the draft, and go Patriots.